A group of right-wing Tory MPs believe that Penny Mordaunt should lead the Tories into the next election as they consider a plot to oust PM Rishi Sunak.
I guess you'd say that the discussions reflect the complete despair amongst some Tory MPs at the current and dire state of their government and the opinion polls.
Well, joining us now live is columnist for The Sun, Rod Liddle. Good morning, Rod.
Morning, Rod.
Tell us, please.
Good morning, how are you doing?
We're good, thank you, but we want to know, what do you think? Mordaunt for PM, is it going to happen?
Oh, I'm very excited. Couldn't be better. I mean, they bring a new rabbit out of their capacious hat every few months, don't they? You know, the last one was Liz Truss. Look, you could have Liz Truss for a bit, and we all had to put up with Liz Truss. I don't really know where this has come from. I can't imagine that right-wing Tories would like Penny Mordaunt because she is woker than a 3-month-old baby at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I can't imagine for a moment why they would want her. And her biggest supporters, who I guess people like David Davis and so on, have said that this is an absurd idea. It is obviously a case of desperation. Of course it is. It's also a problem for the Conservatives after the next election, I think, as well, because this party is going to tear itself to pieces. I won't grieve terribly for that reason, but you cannot foist another leader on this country without an election. I mean,
it's quite interesting, though. I'm very with you, but we've sort of been dissecting this morning, mate, and you think to yourself, right, so they'll be desperate to save their own skins, and I guess if somebody took it for 6 months, hear me out, and maybe got 50 seats more, that would be viewed as a success. Look at Mordaunt, though. I said this morning, why would anybody want to do a job for 6 months that has no future? However, right, Mordaunt, I'm told, is in a slightly dodgy seat. Nobody's going to turn down the chance. Maybe if she did an OK job, she'd be parachuted in somewhere else. But you're right, it just smacks of how desperate this is. And you sort of paint this picture. I have this picture in my head, Rod, that's he's bunkered down in number 10 knowing the inevitable is coming. And my final point is, if you're Kemi Badenoch or even Penny Mordaunt, who might believe she's got a chance, right, I'd have one theory, mate. You're going to deal with this, Sunak. You're taking the rap. This is your bag. I'm not going... You know, you can do it. I'm going to concentrate on my seat and I'll see you on the other side. That's what I'd say.
Yes, I mean, I suspect Penny Mordaunt will lose her seat. And I don't think... I mean, I think the main problem for the Conservatives is that people are sick of the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
They're also sick of a multiplicity of leaders. You know, they're sick of being foisted with people who originally at the general election they didn't vote for. Which is hugely annoying and undemocratic, I suspect. I don't think Mordaunt will get any more votes, to be absolutely honest. Any more votes than Sunak was likely to, and she would be faced with exactly the same problems, which is that, you know, this is a party which can't decide if it wishes to make tax cuts or to improve services, and doesn't know where the money is going to come from to do either of those things. So she would still have all those problems. It seems to be an absurd idea.
Rod, we've just been having a discussion about national conscription to deter Russia. According to a NATO ally, that's what we should be doing. Where do you stand on conscription, national service?
Well, it had certain social benefits when we had it in the height of the Cold War, though it has to be said that we gave it up at the height of the Cold War, when things were even more serious than they are now. I don't necessarily go along. I can see why Latvia is worried. And Latvia wishes us to pay a bit more attention to our armed services than we have been doing. I think rather than conscription, it would have been better, firstly, if Jeremy Hunt had allocated a bit more money towards the armed services at the last budget. That was a clear signal that he doesn't take it very seriously. Secondly, we've got a recruitment crisis in the armed services, which is a consequence of the armed services, the top brass in the armed services, discriminating against the people who, by and large, in every war we've ever fought, have been the mainstay of the British Army and the RAF, which is white, working-class young men. And they're now being discriminated against in these services. Why should they wish to join? I think sort that out, and that would be better than conscription.
Interesting. Loads of stories to put to you this morning. I grabbed this morning, page 11 of the Mail. Anger as the V&A lists Maggie as Punch and Judy villain alongside Hitler and Bin Laden. Mick Hume in the Mail saying Thatcher bashing is lovey elite's favourite pastime. What do you make of that?
Yes, well, it is. It absolutely is, and for Thatcher, read Churchill as well. There is everything from our past is wicked, according to the elite. Every single thing that we've done in the past is wicked, and Margaret Thatcher, because she is from the past, is therefore wicked. It is a bizarre kind of zero-sum argument, and it has no purchase whatsoever with the people of this country.
But Rod, it's not just lefty elites, and to use both of your words there, that have
Didn't
a problem
say lefty,
with
liberal
elites. It's, you talk to people from working class mining towns in the north, and there's going to be a significant proportion of people there who feel negatively about Margaret Thatcher and her policies.
Sure, up where I am, there's a lot of negative feeling about Margaret Thatcher, but the opinion was always divided that on domestic policy she caused a lot of damage up here in the northeast. No question about that at all. But by the same token, people are able to balance the good and the bad in a way that it seems impossible for the Liberals to do. So that whilst, she was bad on many domestic policy issues and caused trouble, an awful lot of chaos and misery for the North East, we can see that she was a competent foreign affairs prime minister and a woman of strength who stayed there for, whatever it was, 13 years.
Got more strength than most of the people I see nowadays. I tell you, one Liberal who loves her is of course, the one and only Angela Rayner, because if she hadn't brought in the fact that you could buy your own council house, our Ange wouldn't have been able to. That's a fact, isn't it, Rod?
It is an absolute fact, and the greatest transfer of wealth in this country's history was the sale of council houses. The greatest transfer of wealth.
I don't think we should say that Angela Rayner would love her, though. We can't speak
She
for
took
Rayner.
advantage of a policy that Thatcher brought in, allowing people to buy council houses. She's now trying to stop that. Now, whatever, and we've all done things, but that's quite interesting for me, our Ange.
Yeah.
Yes.